Many years ago, I lay quietly in my bed. I did not rustle the sheets. I breathed slowly and silently. I was listening for a sound a friend told me I'd never hear, the ringing bells of Santa's sleigh.
Later that night, the boy did hear a sound, though not of ringing bells. From outside came sounds of hissing steam and squeaky metal. The boy looked out the window to see a train standing perfectly still in front of his house. It was wrapped in an apron of steam. Snowflakes fell lightly around it. The conductor stood at the open door of one of the cars. He took a large pocket watch from his vest and then looked up at the boy's window.
I put on my slippers and robe and tiptoed downstairs and out the door.
All aboard! Well, we're coming.
Where?
Right to the North Pole, of course. This is the Polar Express.
The train was filled with other children, all in their pajamas and nightgowns. They sang Christmas carols.
'Tis the season to be jolly,
And ate candies with nougat-filled sinners as white as snow.
They drank hot cocoa as thick and rich as melted chocolate bars.
we got it. Hey, we got it. We got it. Hot chocolate. Oh, we got it. So we got it. Oh, we got it. Hot chocolate.
Look at all the lights of the towns and villages. We're going really fast. We'll be at the North Pole in no time.
I can't see the lights anymore. We must be in the forest now.
The train thundered through the quiet wilderness. It climbed mountains so high it seemed it could scrape the moon. But the Polar Express never slowed down. Faster and faster it ran along, rolling over peaks and through valleys like a car on a roller coaster. The mountains turned into hills, the hills to snow-covered plains. They crossed the barren desert of ice, the great polar ice cap. Lights appeared in the distance. They looked like the lights of a strange ocean line sailing on a frozen sea.
There it is, the North Pole.
Look, the North Pole! Look at the huge cities! Look at the factories with the pumping on the toys!
Where are all the elves?
Oh, they're gathering at the center of the city, where Santa will give the first gift of Christmas.
Who receives the first gift?
Well, he will choose one of you.
Look, the elves.
Outside, they saw hundreds of elves. As the Polar Express came closer to the North Pole Center, it slowed to a crawl. The streets were filled with all of Santa's helpers. When the Polar Express would go no further, it stopped. And the conductor led the children outside.
It's so cold. Stay in a group, stay with the buddy at all times. Make sure, come on.
Look, it's Santa's sled.
The reindeer look excited. Look at the parade. Look at the silver bells hanging from their harnesses.
What a magical sound. It's nothing like I've ever heard.
The elves moved apart and appeared Santa. The elves cheered wildly.
Santa marched over to the children and he pointed.
Let's have this fellow here.
The conductor helped the boy up and he stood next to Santa.
Now, what would you like for Christmas?
The boy knew he could have any gift he could imagine. But what he wanted more than anything wasn't something that could be found in Santa's giant bag. What he wanted the most for Christmas was one silver bell from Santa Claus's sleigh.
Can I have a bell from your sleigh?
Oh, of course! Bell me.
Santa motioned for the elf to cut the bell from the harness. The elf handed it to Santa. Santa stood, holding the bell high above him.
The first gift of Christmas!
Children all over the world are anxiously awaiting Santa's arrival.
When the children got back on the Polar Express, they all asked him to see the bell. He reached into his pocket, only to feel a hole. He had lost the silver bell from Santa Claus's sleigh.
Let's hurry outside and look for it. But the train suddenly lurched and started moving.
Christmas.
What?
Merry Christmas!
The Polar Express let out a loud roar from its whistle and sped away.
On Christmas morning, the boy and his sister Sarah opened all their gifts. Once they thought everything had been unwrapped, Sarah found one last gift behind the tree. There's one more here. For you.
He opened the box. Inside was the silver bell. There was a note.
Found this on the seat of my sleigh. Fix that hole in your pocket. Mr. C.
He shook the bell. It made the most beautiful sound they had ever heard.
Aw, that's too bad.
Yes, it's broken.
When the boy had shaken the bell, his parents had heard not a sound.
At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell, but as years passed, it fell silent for all of them. Even Sarah found one year that she could not hear its sweet sound. Though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me, as it does for all who truly believe.